Hi guys, this is Pestily and welcome to another Escape for Tarkov video. Today I have the full breakdown of everything in 16.7. The patch is out, tested out everything, and spent a long time testing the audio to give you guys a good understanding of what's going on. The first part of this video, all time stamped. We're just going to touch on like the search function, the building of the gun stuff, the currency conversion, sights, and other little things that we found in the patch. And then the rest of the video is all going to be audio based out of dorms, resort, and a couple other small things that we found. So without further ado, let's crack straight into it. So starting off the search function, when you're in the main stash of the game, there's the search button up the top left, and you're able to click that, and then you can type whatever you want, and you can search for those items. Another really cool thing about this is you can search including weapon parts. So for example, you're after a Zenit weapon part, you can type Zenit and it will search all the guns for anyone that has a Zenit part on it. And therefore, if you're looking for like a Fortis shift grip or something, and it's attached to a gun, you can do it that way as well. Over to the building of guns. Now, if you go to, edit a preset and build a gun, it will show you in green which ones are bought from the traders and red which is bought from the flea market. Overall, this worked really well until we got up to the currency conversion. Now, I did test this out multiple ways, multiple times. It does have some issues with doing the currency conversion, an JSON file. To my understanding, this is probably something to do with moving stuff around the stash. So if you were to move everything down away from the top and had a nice clean open area at the very top of the stash, so it could put in the USD, convert it, buy the new items, and then assemble it, I think there wouldn't be many issues that way. But I think the bug is something to do with that. So I did try a few different things, making sure it was easily available to make it and all that. But yeah, I got a feeling if you've got a messy stash, it'll actually have a bit of issue with the currency conversion at this stage, at least. Now over to sights, with the biggest and noticeable difference, in my opinion, being the HHS sight. That's the EOTech with the flip-flop sight that you can open and close. This one used to have a really weird wobble. It just constantly wobble when it was zoomed in with the flip-flop thing down. And it would wobble and it'd be really frustrating and hard to use. Now that's nice and steady and it works. I don't have anything else to say about it, but it just works. So it's actually a usable sight now. Good with that. Now I tested out the thermal sights. The biggest thing I could tell, and honestly I didn't have anything to test from previous, but it did look like the refresh rates of the thermal sights, being the Reaper and the Flirt, looked way better. So when something's moving within the sight, it doesn't look so juddery in that. So better refresh rate within the sights and looks nice and clean. After that, I went through pretty much all the major sights from like a hammer sight, Voodoos, razors, everything like that. They didn't really feel any different to me. The sensitivity felt fairly natural and intuitive. So no major dramas and qualms there. It worked pretty well. I don't see any issues with that. Now over to map selection. So if you go to the map selection part of the page, you'll see that there is like a red skull next to factory. The big one about this just means that Tagil is 100% spawn rate right now. I know this is me complaining. I don't care. My biggest issue with this is the amount of people that came into my chat today going, what does the red skull mean next to the factory? It'll eventually become common knowledge that the red skull means that the boss spawn rate is 100%. But why not just say in the description when you go to factory, boss 100%. You could even go to the extra step, Nikita or BSG, and then go to all the other maps and say boss 39%. And then instead of us going to the wiki page, because the information's on the wiki page, just have it in the game, right? So you go, okay, what's the spawn rate of Rashala right now? 39%. Cool. All right, sweet. I don't have to go to the wiki page and find out. And then also new players, and this is the biggest issue that Tarkov has, is onboarding new players because it's so overwhelming. They'll come into my chat or they'll go to they'll be curious when they'll see this red skull and go, what does the red skull mean? It just means the boss spawn rate is 100%. And while they're at it, they could even update a lot of the information there, because it's saying I think factory map is like a 15-minute map and another map's like a 17-minute map. They could just fully update that and get rid of the whole difficulty thing like breeze and all that. It really means nothing. Now over to reserve. On the reserve map, I played on that a fair bit. I didn't really have too good of an example to show from previous to now. Honestly, there might have been a very small increase of FPS in some locations. I looked at my VOD from yesterday or the day before where I was on reserve, and it was very similar FPS. like I said, it's hard to do the testing without good information about what it is before and after. I probably could have been a little bit more, ready for it, but realistically, I felt like reserve was pretty much the same. But I'm sure there's probably some areas that have better FPS. Now, the summer season has begun, so it is a lot more brighter, green, and luscious, I guess. No rain seen today. However, probably the big one was grass is long. They made grass like probably 2 foot high, like 60 centimeters high. It's actually quite long in some places. So at closer range, you'd actually be able to like hide in the grass. But yeah, it's just noticeable. That's probably the biggest change from the summer season. I could tell that was out of the norm. Now over to flashlights. I did test flashlights from both inside and outside. Lots of flashlights and a single flashlight. Depending on which eyewear you use is how much it'll reduce the amount of flashlight from the flashlights, or the flash from the flashlights. Now, the majority of people will probably be going, oh, okay, what is the best eye protection to help reduce the flashes of flashlights? Now, obviously the gas welder, like eye goggle things, they reduce it by 35%. However, on the flea market right now, they're between 50 and 75,000 rubles. If you buy the crossbow from the vendor, they cost about 3,000 rubles. Now, in saying that, and that is a 30% instead of 35%. Now, in saying that, the biggest issue is, and I don't know if it's been patched and fixed, but in the past, those glasses stood out really, really badly at long ranges in Escape from Tarkov. So if someone was like across on woods like 150, 200 meters away, the glasses would just like stand out massively. So probably something to take note of, but the crossbow glasses are about 3,000 or 5,000 rubles from Ragman, and if you got room to put them on, that works really well. If you want to use a welding mask, Tagilla, it's a 70% reduction on flashlights. I did actually have one on me, so I can't show you an example, but I have seen other people doing it, and big reduction in the actual flashlight glare. So I would honestly just say, this is my personal opinion about it, I wouldn't do any of the glasses at all. I would just use the death mask. If you're up to the death mask and you can have the protection, the class 2 armor protection from pretty much pistols, shotgun shells, and stuff like that, I would rather wear that because it has, I think, a 20% reduction, and then it's got like a 4 or 5% ergonomics hit. Any of the glasses like the crossbows or the welding, it's like a 6 or 7% ergonomics hit. And ergonomics in Escape from Tarkov is how long you can hold your weapon up when you're ADSing, or how quickly you can ADS with your weapon. So I'd rather just stick with the death mask. Now, whilst you're in raid, if you just single tap O, you can actually see down the bottom right hand corner the current time of day. So if you're on a task like Insomnia and you want to do nighttime kills, or you're doing chumming and you have to do between 10 p.m. 10 a.m., it just shows you the time of day. Really simple, really easy, and it's good to go. As for pinning tasks, really straight, simple, and easy. On the left-hand side of a task, you can just pin it, and it'll sit at the top of your task list, and it's good. It works. It's simple. Now, the Redut armors do have extra protection on the neck. It's just an extra like hitbox, I guess, or armor hitbox. So you have a little bit extra protection from getting shot in the back of the neck. So that is there and working. Now over to the grunt and the bulk of the video, audio. So it's pretty much, I'll just have it so we're in there. You can listen to it. You can have your thoughts. I do a couple of little mini games, and I might make another video to show other stuff off that I think this is a really good way of explaining it. So we start off with dorms. Pretty much I stand on the floor of the ground level, and you'll hear walking up to the second floor, third floor, and then back down, and then by running different ComTacs, or use the GSSHs and ComTac 6s. Then also do in the middle floor, audio up and below. You can play a mini game of guessing which way it goes, because I really struggle with that one. Stairs, standing at the top of the stairs and hearing someone walk up and down, and then doing a lap around the dorms. After that, I also do the same thing over on resort. I'll have a little text pop up to show which one I'm doing, and it'll cut up so it's a little bit easier for you to track. But if you want just a TLDR and not have to listen to it all, everything seems better in all seriousness, except for above and below audio. So if you're on the second floor of either dorms or resort, trying to figure out if they're above and below, the only real telltale is that a little bit more tinny, a little higher frequency if they're above. That's all I could really go with. Now, with these examples, it is a lot easier to tell where they are, in my opinion, when you know where they're going to be walking. So I'm going to do another video where it's going to be a full guess for you guys, where I've done this video before in the past, but it's a really good like test to figure out how well the audio is working for you, where you can sit there and go, okay, where is that person running? And then I show you where I'm running. So that'll be the video coming probably later this week. Now, the last, before we get into all of that, there are still some issues. For example, in reserve, there's a staircase in the med building. There's literally no audio whilst you're standing and looking at the person. It's like, it's very muffled footsteps and they're standing right in front of you and it should be loud. It's not. So there are still issues, but big steps in the right direction. That's the TLDR. Feel free to listen through the rest of the video. I'm sure it's going to take probably 20 minutes to listen through it, but it's actually really informative. If you do want to just have it on the background while you're, doing other stuff, it's really cool to hear and you can actually tell the differences. So I'll leave that there. Just walk, no running, and just walk up to second floor, back to where I am, then back to the staircase, then up to third floor where I am, and then back down to me. Pretty much only heard on the second floor a little bit and nothing else after second floor. Little tiny bit. Third was, I don't know, I might need to get my hearing tested. Can you do it again whilst running this time, please? That's better. That is better. So if you hear them and you got no ComTacs, they're on second. If they're very, very faint, they're on third. All right, walk again, please. Same thing. The only noise I heard on third when she was directly above me. Can you do it again running, please? I like that. That's better. I actually think that's way better. All right, walking again, please. I could hear her on third. With these on, I could hear her on third walking. All right, one more time running, please. Yeah, that was good. That was good. All right, I'm going to stand here and look at this pillar. And you're going to walk up or downstairs. And we're going to... Chat's got to figure out which one you are. Okay?
Okay.
Go. I'm gonna say down because I don't feel like it was up, but I don't know.
It was up.
All right, let's do it one more time, and I'm gonna look left to right. So I'm gonna look this way and see if that makes it easier.
Okay.
All right, that was definitely up, and I thought that before I saw your light.
I was down.
You were down?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take my headset off, and you do it running. All right, headset's off. Was that down?
That was down.
Okay. Let's go again when you're ready. That was up, right?
Yep.
It's easier without ComTacs on. I'm going to put the GSSHs on. All right, it was up, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, this is not working anymore because I have an audio clue that tells me that it's up. What I need you to do for the next one is go all the way out the door at the end and then go up and down on the metal and go that way.
Okay.
I feel like it was down.
Thumbs up.
So I know what they're trying to do. So what they're trying to do is make it that you're hearing the audio primarily from this direction, right? From the direction of the stairwell. Even when it's above, it still sounds like it's the direction of the stairwell. Because that's like how audio would work in real life. But it's off-putting. Could you reliably tell before the patch? No. I think, personally, chat, I think when you're on the bottom floor, it's easier now to tell if you're on second or third based off how loud it is. I think that's easier to tell. Could you ever reliably tell? Yeah, ages ago. Ages ago, definitely. I want to try one thing. I want to stand at the top of the stairwell, right? And then you come up and down the stairs. And just, stairwell audio has always been an issue. That sounds good to me. That sounds good. I really like that. I can tell they're coming up the staircase. I can tell it clear. That is way better for staircase audio. Can you run up from the bottom again, please? I don't know what else we can ask for with that. You want me crouched? You want her crouch walk? You're not going to hear someone crabbing up the stairs, chat. Because it's very quiet. I heard her when she got to about there. Was that full speed or was that just slower speed?
That was full speed.
Yeah, I think you'd be completely silent if you went the slower speed, which is probably fair. But there's one test I want to do. It's not perfectly ideal, but I want you to go from here, out the front door, turn left, and run around the building, and then in from the last door at the end, if you could. When you're ready. I think that's good. I think that's good. You're currently overweight, aren't you?
Yeah.
In Tarkov. Can you do it again without? That's very similar. Very similar. I'm wearing GSSHs. I'm going to be annoying. We're going to do it one more time. Alright, I'm pretty happy with that. I think the summary is directional audio feels a lot better. Understanding if someone is above you or like up one level, up two levels, much easier to understand as well. If they're moving around you, around the building, all that kind of stuff, way better. If they're coming up and down a staircase, way better. If they're above or below you, it's still a coin flip. So everything is better, but still can't tell above and below very well. It's worse than before, in your opinion. So I don't have anything to go by. I have one video to go by, and I watched it last night. So I'm going to just rant for a sec. I made a tweet because I actually said that they wanted fucking information regarding testing this. And it made me think about a test that I did 2 years ago. And I watched the recording of my editor last night. The audio today is better than that video 2 years ago. So that's good. All right. We're going to try and see forward and backs work. Maybe stand on top of me or right next to me, and then pick a direction you want to go, either forward or back. I would be able to flick and turn and shoot this person everywhere they've been. No problem. She's like back with slightly to the right now. Now slightly to the left. Creeping past me on my left here. Front left. This is like she's walking or slow walking, yeah. Like front left still. This is just straight left. The sound has been better than this before. Early sound in Tarkov was perfect. This is just on the left now. Sorry, left. On my left and right. He's just on the right now. I'm turning right to shoot her in the right, but she was on the right. That was just me messing up my words. All right, what I want you to do, and we're going to make this very obvious. I want you to go up the staircase, go above me, shoot 2 rounds, go above that, shoot 2 rounds, come back, shoot 2 rounds, come down to me. And just walk the whole time.
Walk the whole time, okay?
Yeah, and just do it again, but running. I want you to do it again, but this time, go onto the roof as well. I'll stand just over here so you go out the doorway to the roof, and you can shoot a couple rounds there too. Do walking first, and then we'll do running. That's no contacts, chat. That was good. Walking the whole way. No contacts. I could hear the whole way up. All the floors and the roof. All right, do it again, but running, please. See, now, my feedback is this sounds better than dorms. Like, way better than dorms. This is annoying, but I want to do it one more time, and I want to come down here a little bit. And then so you have to walk down the hallway to where I am, shoot there, go back down the hallway, up, back down the hallway, blah, blah, you know what I mean? Just because I'm right near the stairwell, so the audio comes straight down the stairwell, it's really clear. That was very clear, so that's just more...
Okay.
So, my understanding from that was because I was further away from the stairwell, less audio came from third, and we didn't hear the roof at all. So, except for the shooting, obviously. Okay, do it again, but running, please.
Oh, sorry.
Took a suppressor off. Why'd you take your suppressor off?
Because I'm dumb.
Yeah, not dumb.
Your vibe's bugged.
I think it's a lot better. So when she's shooting outside, you can't tell where she's shooting, but you can tell someone's shooting outside. I don't know if I could tell that she's shooting from the roof, but if we're going down the realistic path, I don't know if you'd be able to tell that someone's shooting on the roof. Like from a third floor, if you're on the ground floor and they're on the roof, I don't think if someone was shooting in real life, I don't know if you'd have any idea where the audio is coming from, just that it's outside. So I think that's good. I think all that was good. Now it's time to play the game again. You're gonna do the above and below thing. Let's do walking first. There's Virtue. Thanks for 64 months, man. It was very quiet. Was that down?
I was down, yeah.
I could barely hear you for some reason. Can you just go above? I just want to hear above. Just. I reckon above was louder. All right, we'll do the down and up thing again. Yeah. I have no idea. Chat, what do you think it is?
That was up.
It was up. So I think up sounds a little tinnier. I think that's like more higher frequency. I think that's the only way I can really tell. It doesn't have... I can't tell based off the direction. I can I can tell based off the type of audio. All right, ComTac's time. All right, let's start. Let's just do a run. Just run the whole time. I think it all sounds good. What test do you want to do, chat? What did we do in dorms? Stairwells. Let's do... I'll stand here at the very top. You go all the way down to the very bottom. Actually, I'll stay on third floor. Go all the way to the bottom. Walk up to me and then walk all the way back down and then do it again running. I think it sounds good, honestly. You know, it'd be interesting. Can you do it again? You do it again, please. have any. I don't know. I can't tell if it's any different when the door closed or open. I just want to try something. Can you walk straight past the door? Alright, do it again, please. It is quieter. It is softer, yeah. It's like when a door is closed, it's like it's less trebly and more bassy. That's pretty much the main difference. It's a little quieter, but a little bit taken away from the trebs. All right, go up to the fire truck, and then I'll shoot a bullet when the crab walk to me. Slow as you can go. I reckon I heard it about there. Can you just go to your skills for a sec and tell me what level covert movement you have?
3.
Yeah, it's not like she's got high level covert movement. Go maybe halfway towards the fire truck, please. And then we'll do it again. So I can hear from about there. A little further back. I can hear that. Oh, she's moving faster. So I reckon GSSHs have a more bassier sound to it. I reckon it's the same spot, but it's like the GSSHs have like a bassier sound to it because it was clear from about here, but it probably started about here. I just couldn't hear it like clearly because GSS, the steps have like a more bass to it. I don't know how to word it better than that. We can try a different one if you want. Liberate your mind. I don't know where I was standing.
Do you want me to try it with my backpack on?
So you're overweight?
Yeah.
Chuck that on. So I swear I heard a little audio around here, but then it didn't really kick in properly to hear. What weight are you? How heavy are you?
47.
Like, you're barely gaining stamina at that point. Like, you still are, but it's only just. Why does she need to be heavier, chat?
Where are they?
People creeping around to fight people aren't running around with fucking... with 50 kilo on their back. If you're at 50 kilo, they drop back because they can regain stamina. So it was there, but I don't know if I moved or not. It's definitely better. You're just gonna have to do your best. Try and do a lap as much outside as possible. If you have to come in, like here on the right-hand side to go through the window and then across the front or something. Or maybe go in on the right-hand side, shoot a window out, and then come through the center back to me.
Okay, running?
Yeah, when you're ready. And then just let me take these off. And then when you got stamina, do it again. It's easy. Okay, so some things to note about the testing and completely over or everything I've done. It's always easier to tell where audio is and all that when you know the path the person's taking. So for example, if I was to, and I've done this before and I'll do it again because I think it's an interesting test. I'll record me standing still and I'll run around buildings and in and out and stuff and not tell you the path. And then have you guys listen and then show you the path and you can agree or not agree that you figured out which way I went. I did that on dorms 2 years ago and I'll do it again for this patch. And I think it'll be an interesting test because you'll be able to go, okay, yeah, that's how it sounded or how it doesn't. Because me saying run around the building, it's easy to track because we go, there's a person running around the building. It does sound good to me, by the way. This is not me ragging on it, but I'm just trying to play devil's advocate on the information that we have. I'm trying to play devil's advocate because otherwise it's just like, oh yeah, fucking sick. And then you get into a fight and you're like, I have no idea where the fuck that player is, you know? Because I'm just trying to like think of all the scenarios or cases that, you know, quick list of, I don't know. All the changes are good. The TLDR, all changes good. All the quality life stuff's good. Couple things broken, but not really bad. So guys, thanks for watching another video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification bell for the latest Tarkov and content for this channel. Leave a comment, let me know what you think about the patch. Personally, I thought it was quite good. There was a lot of good things out of it. Not much content, but that's fine if it's giving improvements for the game in lead up to 1.0. And lastly guys, I'll see you next time.